All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Gamecocks with Ben and Rich. I'm Ben. He's
I'm
Rich.
Rich.
And we're back with another episode. And we have a lot of news. It's been a while, guys. We're back and better with a brand new episode. And first thing on the list is our baseball team. We had a really early exit out of the regional tournament, and it was kind of disappointing to say the least. What do you think? How did their performance go, Dad?
I don't know. To me, it was a disappointing baseball season because of it just seemed like we got handed a regional that we were, almost gifted to win. Should have won. Had the home crowd, had the home field advantage, I don't know. Felt like we were the best team there. Really, Old Dominion's a good team, but we're right there with them. We should be able to play right there with them, and we just couldn't score a run. We couldn't hit the ball hard. We couldn't score runs. We didn't put pressure on them on defense. We didn't make them make plays. We struck out way, way, way too much. We just need to find better hitters. We got to become a better hitting ball club. We were not a very good hitting ball club this past season, and it showed in the regional.
I didn't watch too many of the games over the entire season, but the few games that I did watch during the regional, that was a really big weak point of the team was they were not able to get any hits or string anything really together. They were able to you would get a base hit here or there, but then you wouldn't get like that 2 or 3 afterwards to get that run back home. And it just, and the pitching was there. We have
excellent pitching. I mean, if you look at it, we have excellent pitching. Look at the regional. With our first guy gives up 3 runs and we win that game. Mm-hmm. The second guy gives up 2 runs and loses. Mm-hmm. I mean, you give up 2 runs, you ought to win a baseball game as a pitcher.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it. You give up 2 runs, you can't ask much more of your pitching than that.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the pitching at all. I blame our hitters. We strike out way too much. We're not a very good hitting ball club, I don't think.
Yeah. And I mean, if you even think back to 2010, 2011, back to those teams and how powerful their hitting potential was, like it was almost, whenever we were watching all those games, I feel like every person that was coming up to bat had the opportunity to like somehow get on base. Whether it was walking, they would hit a base hit somehow.
Back in those days, it was, up and down the lineup, we had guys that could hurt you with the bat.
Yep.
And now we've only got maybe 2 or 3 guys that you really are nervous about when you're facing them as the opposing team. Mm-hmm. We've only got 2 or 3 good hitters that can hurt the other team. And back in the days, we had 7, 8 guys that could hurt you.
Yeah,
and we need to get back to that. You look at a team like Arkansas. I watched a couple of their games, and they've got 8, 9 guys up and down the lineup that are hitting the ball hard everywhere. Hitting the ball hard over the fence. They hit the ball to all fields. They hit a lot of doubles, but they hit the ball. That's the main thing. You got to put the ball in play. I always say, and you remember from baseball, you make the other team make a play. Hit the ball somewhere. Mm-hmm. Make them make a play on defense. Mm-hmm. We swing and miss way, way, way too much. We got to start, finding guys that hit for contact. Put the ball in play hard somewhere. Good things will happen. Like I said, we were practically gifted the regional. Mm-hmm. As a number 2 seed, we were the host team. You don't see that much at all. We got to host as the 2 seed. That's practically telling me that, they don't want us to win, but, we'd like to see y'all be successful. That kind of thing. You have to take advantage of that. And if we had, we would have been hosting the super regional against the lower seeded team and a golden opportunity to get to Omaha. So that's sports is about missed opportunities. To me, that's a huge, giant missed opportunity by the South Carolina baseball team. We had a green light, red carpet opportunity to get to Omaha, and we couldn't come through. That's sad to me. That's a disappointing baseball season, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really kind of weird when you told me that the other super regional is happening right now.
Yeah, they're playing
in Columbia in the stadium.
From out of town.
And they're two different
Virginia
teams.
And the Texas team. The team that won the Fort Worth regional.
Hmm.
That's some small school. We'd have been favored to beat them.
Was it North Texas?
No, it was Dallas Fort Worth. So it's like a Christian school out there.
Oh,
some small school.
Okay.
They were the 3rd or 4th seed in their regional, and they won it. I like Mark Kingston. He's a good coach. I think he's the right coach, but I think he needs to find some hitters and start focusing on, putting pressure on the other team. Like I said, you make it easy on them when you swing and miss. I think a lot of people, I'm not alone in that. When baseball season ends, my focus was okay, football's next. And then this is a busy month. June has been a huge busy month for Shane Beamer and the football staff.
What are they doing?
Giant recruiting month. It's the first month since COVID that kids are allowed to go actually and have physical on-campus visits.
Okay.
So they've had kids on campus every single day this month, and from what I understand, they're having kids on campus every day the rest of this month. Everything I've heard about Shane Beamer is he is busting his butt on the recruiting trail to get kids interested in South Carolina. He is working his fanny off on the recruiting trail, from what I've heard and been told and seen.
Yeah, so, I've been trying to keep up with a lot of the social medias of like Instagram, and Shane, he tweets out a lot of stuff of like what he's doing and where he's at and what he's excited and looking forward to. He tweets at a lot of players and tweets at people, make sure they're doing all right. And
he's pumped up, man. He
seems like he's having a lot of good character, and he is.
I hate to say it, but he reminds me of somebody very close in the state.
Are you talking about
when he first started? It reminds me a lot.
Do you think he has the potential to be? I mean, we don't have to speculate, but
no, I don't think we'll ever get to that level ever. But I like what I'm hearing about Shane. I hear a lot of good things. He's not a phony. From what I've heard, the kids see that right away. He's genuine. He believes in what he's doing. He's selling the University of South Carolina hard, and there's a lot to sell. There's a lot of good reasons for kids to want to come here. The facilities are among the best in the country.
Yeah, I saw a couple of videos about, I think somebody was like just doing a big tour of our brand new facility, of like the fitness facility for football and all other sports. And they said like it was the nicest in the country. And
it's top notch.
That's pretty cool.
Every list I've seen of those kinds of things, there is top 20 on every single list. It's right up there with the Alabamas and the Clemsons and the Georgias, and it's right up there with them. The kids say it's as nice as they've seen. They're kind of changing their philosophy when it goes to recruiting. I thought it's a brilliant thing to do. They're looking to try and, I hate to use the word steal, but find a couple of kids in your kind of neck of the woods. Who, kids from New Jersey, kids from Pennsylvania, kids from West Virginia who want to play in the SEC.
Yeah.
They made that article made a great point. South Carolina is the closest SEC school to a lot of those kids. They call it the I-95 recruiting trail. All the kids' parents have to do is hop on 95 and come straight to South Carolina. I think it's a great opportunity to find hidden talent in places like Delaware and New Jersey and the state of New York.
Yep.
Places like that, kids who've got the talent and want to play in the SEC. I think we're a perfect fit for that kind of thing. I love their philosophy. I think they're thinking outside the box when it comes to recruiting. And I really, really, instead of coming down here and trying to fight Georgia and fight people like Clemson and Florida and teams like that for recruits, they're trying to find other avenues of recruits. There are other ways to find talented kids. I know they're hitting Florida real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's full of talented kids. There's no way that Miami and Florida State, they can't all go there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hitting Florida really hard. They're also hitting places like Louisiana really hard, which is a good idea. There's tons of talent in Louisiana.
Yeah.
They can't all go to LSU. They can't all go to Alabama.
Yeah.
So,
well, Penn State, their team for the past 2-3 years have been really good, and that's like the big college town near here.
But there's a lot of kids up there that want to go to the SEC and don't want nothing to do with Big Ten football and Penn State and Ohio.
Pitt.
They want to play in the SEC. We got to find those kinds of kids. We got to root them out and find them and get them in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from what I've heard, it's all been positive. We'll see. You know, it's gonna take 2 or 3 years to see what's going on.
And to even like touch on the team upstate of more so of right when he came in as an interim head coach, and we would kind of like crack jokes at him, me and you, of saying like he's just the biggest cheerleader for their team.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it turned into something really great. So I mean,
but he was smart. He built, you know, he's trusted, kept building. You remember his first 5 or 6, 7 years, you know, remember he lost 5 in a row to Spurrier. There were a lot of people wanted to fire him.
Those were our hot years there between them and us.
He kept the faith and built it, like I said, from the ground up. And to me, that starts, the way Dabo built it was with linemen. You got to have great O linemen and great D linemen. You got to build lines of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. You want to run the ball and establish a run, you got to have a great O-line. You want to keep the other team from doing what they want to do, you got to put pressure on the quarterback, put pressure on the running game. You got to have a great, and that's how he did it from the ground up. Mm-hmm. So, but I see a lot of that in Shane Beamer. We'll see.
Even past the football field, off the football field, of like having good characteristics as like good moral characteristics, good leadership qualities off the field, and building that sort of like character.
He recruited kids and he told them, you know, you got to be 100% all in the time. Mm-hmm. And you got to find those kids. You can't have these kids that are coming here looking for the next thing and looking out for themselves. Mm-hmm. You got to have kids buy in.
Yep.
You know, when Spurrier was here and he had people here like Marcus and Connor, those kids brought in to it 110%. They were committed. DJ Swearinger was committed to being the best Gamecock he could be. And we had a team full of guys like that. And that's what you got to have, man. You can't have these kids that are 90% committed and, you know, I'm going to do what it takes to not get hurt and play my way into the NFL through South Carolina. We've had enough of that crap. We got to have kids that, you know, are proud to wear that Gamecock on their helmet and want to do big things here. And that's what kids like Marcus Lattimore wanted, and kids like Connor Shaw, Bruce Ellington, and you know, A. Sanders and DJ and kids like that. They wanted to be here and they wanted to be winners here. And that's what we got to have. We'll get our shares no matter what happens. You know, if we get enough here at the same time and get enough of them here at the same time and committed to the same goal, you know, it's a lot of factors that have to come together.
Yep.
A lot of factors have to come together for a team like us to be successful.
So the football season, looking forward, is looking really bright, at least in my opinion. I think it's looking up. And
well, like we talked before the last time, if you look at those first 7 games,
yep,
there's only one I look at and say we're not going to win that one. The other 6 are winnable, as far as I'm concerned, are winnable games. So,
and the
7 games make or break us. We'll probably end up going 4-3 or 3-4 or something like that.
We could be hopeful for 6-1, but the college football season is looking more bright the closer and closer we get. We're hoping for a 6-1 start, but there's a couple rumors coming out too that they might be expanding the college football playoff. It's still only down to 4 teams, the best 4 teams in the nation to battle in a playoff. But there's a couple rumors going around that they kind of either put in for it or speculation of a 12-team playoff maybe.
The NCAA actually doesn't run the playoff. To be honest with you, truthful, most people don't even realize this. But the college football playoff is run by an organization just that called the College Football Playoff. They run it. They run the playoff.
Yeah.
The playoff and has an agreement right now to put the Final Four teams together through the year 2026. Now, they have appointed or put together this committee to explore the possibility of expanding it. The committee really surprised most everybody by saying that they recommended, going to a 12-team playoff, which is, I think that's a little too many, to be honest with you. I think the perfect number would be 10.
Yeah, that would be good.
A 10-team playoff, and the 1 and 2 seeds get a bye.
Yeah.
First week, in other words, they don't play. So 3 would play 10, 4 would play, or 10 would go to the home stadium, a number 3 seed. 9 would go to the 4 seed stadium. 8 would go to the 5 seed, and 7 would play 6 on their home field. And we play it out like that. That to me would be the perfect number. 12 is too many. I think 10 is a good number. Suggested 12 in the hopes of negotiating down to 8 or 10. That's what I think the goal would be. A lot of people would like to see 8. I don't know. A lot of people are happy with 12. I think 10 is the perfect number.
Yeah, because I think even if you do the college rankings, those are like really big. Of you just sit in that top 10. If you're top 10 in the college around the nation, then you're really like doing something in the football season. But like I feel like once you get to like 11 through 25, you're kind of just you're ranked. But once you get to that top 10, you're doing something.
Well, I think that the level of the team after the 10, even after the 4, really. When was the last time the 4 seed did anything in the college football playoff? They all usually get blown out by the number 1 seed. So I mean, you see what there's a drop off after. I think after the 3rd team in the playoff, there's a pretty significant drop.
Yeah.
As far as talent goes, I mean, in my opinion, I think 4 is really the right number because after that, like I said, I think the talent level of teams, there's a significant drop. I think you had the first 2 or 3, maybe 1, 2, and 3 teams, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. Then after that, I think there's a pretty significant drop to the next level of teams where it's almost like there's those 3 and then everybody else. Really.
I think like a certain aspect of it too, though, is that I think they're thinking of it maybe if they add more teams in, that chance of having an upset win happen just goes even higher.
Yeah.
If you have more games, you have 8 seed beating the 4 seed, you have the 9 seed beating the 2nd seed, and it's kind of like with the March Madness in college basketball, to where
you'll see that every
you hear
now
all
and
these
then.
upsets
Football's
happening.
A little different. I think football's a little different. For instance, a couple years ago, Central Florida wanted to claim that they were the national champions because they went undefeated. Do you remember that? They were putting up banners and stuff. They even gave out rings.
Yeah.
Of course, they never played anybody. Now, you think if Central Florida had played Alabama or Clemson that year, they'd have stood a chance?
No.
What it comes down to is more than anything else is they know how much money they can make. That's what it boils down to. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else in life, it comes down to follow the money. And that's what it comes down to. They put 12 teams in there and they can start running their own printing press, printing money. Anyway, but it's going to expand. It's coming. Probably be, I would think they'd start with 8.
Yeah.
See how it goes. We'll see.
It's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah. There's too much money to be made.
Yeah, especially if you right now it would be 2 games. because like 1 and 4 play each other, 2 and 3 play each other. That's 2 games, and then the national championship, that's 3 games of playoffs. And then if you just increase it to 8,
too many games.
That's just. I mean, but then again, like if you just think about the money, just multiplying by itself.
Well, what they're going to do is incorporate the bowl games into the first 2 rounds.
Oh, okay.
So
they would play during the bowl game weekends as well as like an ender.
Yeah, you go to. I don't know how it'll work. One of your playoff games will be a bowl game. So
I think it'd be like, you know how the smaller bowl games play like first around the Christmas time in December. I think they would probably have it like that week.
Yeah, they'll have it the week after the championship games.
Yeah,
the playoff will start the week after the conference championship games. So.
Yeah, to where they have like all the bowl games Saturday during the day, and then Saturday night, or if they even have any on Sunday, they might have that big like playoff, like leading up the whole weekend to the playoff game that Sunday night or whenever Saturday night to kind of like set off the rest of the weekend for next week for the next more playoff games and bowl games.
Right.
Talking about a little bit more of a sad news, there's a little bit more rumors of Dawn Staley might be in a little bit of news, maybe leaving the team.
I heard a story last night that she was on the short list for the Portland Trailblazers head coaching job. They want to interview her.
Do you think she'll go?
Do
you think she'll go?
I don't know. That's a long way from home. That's pros over college. I like to think that she's happy here. I think she's got unfinished business here. She's got a team full of McDonald's All-Americans coming back next year. You know that?
For the entire team?
Like 7 or 8 McDonald's All-Americans on her basketball team.
What is
like
that
a
mean?
record?
McDonald's.
So, they're going to be heavy favorites to be in the mix next year for the title. Like I said, I think she's got unfinished business here. I hope she feels that way.
So,
got jobbed out of a title last year. I think most everyone in the women's college basketball world concedes that South Carolina would have won the title in 2019 or 2020, whatever it was, the COVID year.
Yeah.
We were dominating people. Everybody. We were just dominating everybody.
Yeah,
But
that last buzzer beater.
I hope she wants to, finish some business here.
We lost that last buzzer beater, right? That was that like last year's loss.
Yeah, the Final Four, we lost to Stanford. We had the girl at the rim with the ball and
just couldn't get it
back, hit the back iron and clanged out. Yeah, she's right there at the rim with the ball.
That was a terrible feeling.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we should have won that game, but because we want to keep her, we want Dawn here.
Yeah,
we love Dawn. She's got our best program.
she's a great coach.
Yeah, she is a great coach. Awesome coach. Keep an eye on recruiting.
Are you going to paint up for the first game?
No, you should follow a couple of websites. 24/7 Sports. It's good for recruiting. GamecocksOnline.com. A lot of their stuff is paid, though. You got to pay. I'm telling you all these ways to keep up with what's going on. That's what I do, how I keep up with what's going on.
All right, everyone. That's going to conclude this episode of Talking Gamecocks with Ben and Rich. We really appreciate you guys watching this video all the way to the end. And if you did, let us know your favorite part of what we touched on. And if you have any comments, concerns, anything you guys want us to talk about, let us know too down in comments below. We appreciate you guys watching again. See you guys next time.